My year in review, 2018. In January, I started off eating tamales because that's what my family does. We have this little tradition where every year during Christmas time, we eat tamales. We make like so many of them, and then we have some left until New Year's or even the week after that. On top of that, I did a little sneaker review, or on foot if you want to say that. It was called the first package of 2018. If you want to go see it, it's on my channel. Basically what happened was, hey, I got a beautiful pair of shoes in the mail. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a video in it. February is when I started selling a bunch of things on eBay, simply because I didn't really need what I was selling. And hey, I got a decent amount of money from it. You can't go wrong with extra money. During March is when I was reading a bunch of no sleep stories on Reddit. If you've never read any of those stories, I really recommend it. And if you know me, I don't like reading. But hey, one day I was just browsing Reddit and I saw no sleep. I was like, what? What is this? And then I just read all these interesting stories, whether they were real or not. And it was just really interesting. Just like every night before I went to bed, I would go and read these stories and be like, huh. And believe it or not, you'll learn something out of every one that you read. As for April, well, there really wasn't anything. In May, I did a 16-minute presentation, which was pretty crazy if you think about it, but I loved it. Usually, whenever I gotta present something, I don't just present what you have to present. I spice it up a bit, cause that's just how I roll. 16-minute presentation, that was really fun. And I wish I could have recorded it, but I didn't really think of it at the time, cause I was pretty nervous when I was gonna present. But 2 minutes into it, I was like, you know what, piece of cake. Time limit was like 10 minutes, but I went a little over. Sorry. In June, which was during summertime, I made away with eating these frozen pizzas that would be in my freezer all the time. And apparently they costed like $3. And you would imagine a frozen pizza isn't really that good. But when I made these pizzas, I made them like a champ. And I made away with eating like 1 or 2 of those every week. And I also like this Calypso drink. If you haven't tasted this, then please try it out. Especially the blue one. Around 2 weeks after that, me and my brother, we were just chilling. And out of nowhere, we just heard people screaming. Like a lady just like yelling and screaming for help. Or we don't even know what was going on. So we went to check it out. And apparently there was a house that was on fire. Because when we got outside, the only thing we saw was police cars arriving and the fire department. And we were kind of confused, like, what? What's going on? At first, we thought somebody was getting raided because we know our neighborhood. But that wasn't the case. It was really weird. It was just like around like 2 a.m. in the morning. Just imagine that. July was a pretty good month for me. Because I went to Six Flags with my family. And hey, I even met this dude who was from Mexico who I never met before. And he was my cousin. I was like, what? No way. So that was pretty fun, meeting new people. And definitely riding roller coasters for the first time. I rode on one of the craziest roller coasters. It was called the Goliath at Six Flags. And bruh, that was my first ever roller coaster. I feel like I'm repeating myself too much, but it was just insane. You gotta trust me on that. That was definitely a day that I'm never gonna forget. August was a pretty big month for me too, because one, I had to sell one of my favorite pair of sneakers of all time. The Jordan 3 Retro True Blues. I really love this shoe, man. And I actually paid a really good price for this shoe. But I mean, at the end of the day, I sold them for double what I paid, so I made money. I mainly just sold them because they were half size bigger, and I really couldn't make a way for them to fit. Like, no matter what I did, they just didn't fit. So I was like, whatever, man, I'm just gonna let someone else have these. Fast forward a week later, I was in a quinceañera, and if you know anything about me, I ain't no dancer, bro. I didn't like going to the practices. I hated going to them. But hey, I was like, you know what? Let's try something different. There's never anything wrong with new. So the big day was here, and I did my part. The others did their part, and it came out pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That day was one of the most awkwardest days in my life after the big dances and whatever, but everything else went pretty smooth, honestly. It was one of the best nights I've had this year, believe it or not. I always had a thing for performing in front of people, whether it be a presentation, a speech, or even this dance, but I mean, it was alright. I really liked it, but I low-key like don't ever want to get involved in one again. It was definitely something different for me, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing that really sucks about it is my body type. I'm a skinny guy, and I have like 0 body fat. So, I mean, any movement I do, it looks like I'm really stiff. So people probably thought, I don't know, I look really awkward doing any kind of movement. The first week of September, me and my buddies from school, we decided to go to arcade place. Not even an arcade place. They had like laser tag, go-karting, all that good stuff. But the go-karting was really dumb. You had to like book an appointment, and you had to show up like an hour later. It was so dumb. But hey, unlimited laser tagging. Yeah, let's go. Mind you know, I only laser tagged like once before that, and we went in. I mean, it was alright. I'm not gonna say it sucked, but I mean, we did it for like 2 hours straight, give or take. 2 hours straight. So I didn't really like it. We were all so sweaty. I don't know, for me, laser tagging is kind of gay.
What's wrong with being gay?
And from September to October, I actually had bronchitis. Well, I didn't have bronchitis, but I had something really similar to that. I literally couldn't speak to anyone. I just kept coughing and coughing and coughing, and nothing helped. And this seems to be a common occurrence every year around November. The same thing happened to me last year, and I went to the clinic, and they were like, okay, we're gonna take this cotton swab, we're gonna put it down your throat, say alright. If anything happens, we'll send you the results from what we get from the lab. And they never gave me a call. Like, bruh, come on, y'all gotta help me out too. People say it's not bronchitis, but I know it's something like that, man. I just couldn't go a second without coughing. That was terrible for like 2 months straight. Imagine that. During September is when I also realized that my GPS on my phone just didn't work at all. It works, but barely. Like if you were to go down the street, it would say that you're swerving all over the place and you're going to the street to the east and to the west. I don't even know, man. Apple products are weird, especially the iPhone 6s. Apparently, because I got the iPhone 6 and apparently there's a recall or there's just defective GPS antennas. I could be wrong on this, but this is what I read online, and it makes sense. My GPS used to work, but now it doesn't. I was on my way to Chicago and to a local A&W, which is a pretty sweet restaurant. It just doesn't work, man. September is when I had an interview with the University of Milwaukee, and this is pretty much the only place where I want to go for college. Well, I have 2 in mind, but I'm gonna do some transferring and whatnot. Anyways, I had an interview with them, and hey, congratulations, you have been accepted to the University of Milwaukee. Sweet. So that definitely was a big day for me, September 28th. I really don't care about going to the most famous, most prestigious college. Like, bruh, if I'm going to a good college, that's all I care about. And this college is pretty big, so that's pretty dope. It's gonna be like in the movies where there's 300 people in one class. Imagine that. During November is when I had a UPS package so delayed, man. At first it said, hey fam, your package is gonna be delivered today. Fast forward a couple hours to midnight, your delivery is coming today, bro. Don't worry. And then fast forward the next day, hey fam, your package is gonna be delivered on this day. It's like, bro, come on, man. Why you gotta do this to me? UPS comes late enough. Like, bro, I'll be lucky to get a package from them at 5 p.m. But y'all just doing me dirty, man. So, UPS sucks. They really do. They delayed my package by quite a while. And I was really happy to get it, but, I mean, things happen. I understand. Mid-November is when I actually had... It was on the same day. I had taken my senior portrait picture and I got my battery for my iPhone 6 replaced by Apple. Now, for the senior pic, let me tell you, this senior portrait picture of mine was so unplanned out. I had it planned out, but I did it at the wrong time. I didn't really like it. I mean, you may like it, but it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to come out. I pretty much had a few months to take this picture, but I just got lazy. That was my fault. I could have taken the dope ass picture, but I just didn't. The summertime would have been a really good time to do it, but I waited until it was about 15 degrees outside, and it was so cold, especially because I took my picture by the lake. And hey, shout out to my brother for helping me take the picture. He's no photographer, which sucks, so we went through a lot of trial and error, but I just kept saying like, hey, make sure you refocus it after every shot. And this is what I got, so I mean, I can't really complain. This is my fault, but whatever. I really don't care at this point if it's for school. Also, like I mentioned previously, I got my battery replaced by Apple because my battery, I mean, my phone is 3 years old, so I needed a new battery. And I mainly went for this battery because one day something crazy was going on and I really wanted to take a video of it, but my phone literally took like a minute for the camera app to open. It was so slow, and I figured that it was so slow because my phone had shut down so many times to the point where the battery had to be throttled, and I disabled that from the settings. And ever since that day I was like, you know what, I need a new battery. So I took advantage of the Apple's $30 battery replacement. Hey, you can't go wrong with that, because I'm not a spoiled kid. I don't have the iPhone X. I still got an iPhone 6, and I like it because I still got the headphone jack, baby. One thing I really hated about that repair is that about a week later after that, I realized that my speakers were blown, or at least they sound blown. I'm guessing the technician that worked on my phone, he like didn't align a ribbon cable or something properly. I'm not even too sure about that. The thing is that I wasn't really going to argue because I don't ever use my onboard speakers anyway. The sound card is fine. I can play music from it, no problem. Bass is there. Everything's sweet. If I ever wanted to play my music out loud from the phone, it would not go well. It literally sounds like junk. Now we're in December, and there's really not anything that happened. Car's still running.
I'm Mexican. I'm not 50% white, 50% this and that. I'm 100% Mexican. I just don't have a tan. I mean, my mom's last name is Lechuga, so that gives you an idea of how. And that, if you guys don't know what that translates to, it's lettuce in English. So, and right is tamales. I don't know what's the proper term for them, but my favorite are the red ones.
And if there was anything that happened, then I just didn't want to include it. That's pretty much all there was to my 2018. Like I said, if there wasn't anything else, then I decided not to add it to the list because of many different reasons. I mean, this is the internet after all. So, you just gotta be careful of what you post out there. With that being said, happy holidays, and until next time.
Like, I just want to be successful. I'm not the smartest person on earth, but like, I hope I can get somewhere in life because like without money, like money is everything, and without a job, like you're not gonna have enough money to support yourself or your children, and I just want the best for my life, and yeah, that's pretty much it.